we can use it against them in the court of law. And my live streams are the court of law. The court of law to spank Islam, spank the fake prophet of Islam, Muhammad. So they only do response videos and they're like scared puppies. I'm not going to call in. I can only do response videos, brother. So I don't care much about these small uh, YouTubers. I like to go after the big fish. So guys, please do me a favor. I receive a lot of messages. Rob Christian, can you refute this guy? Can you refute that guy? They even send me. Someone sent me a message. Rob, can you refute this 16-year-old Muslim, 16-year-old guy, 16-year-old? You want me to refute a baby, a kid that is 16 years old? What's the point in that? Send me, if you want something to be refuted, send me the big fish. I don't care about small fishes. The big ones with the big channels, right? So I do actually 2 videos about Ramsey here. I can't stand his face, his behavior. Bro, this guy, I think there's something wrong with him. But he always acts tough, you know, his way of talking. It's very funny. It's actually very disturbing. But anyway, this Ramsey guy, he did a video about the suicidal prophet. And he said, we know the hadith is sahih because it's in Sahih al-Bukhari. But the part that is in Sahih al-Bukhari hadith, that part is da'if. Imagine, guys. The hadith is sahih, yet part of that sahih hadith is da'if. Unbelievable, man.
So let's expose the small fish in knowledge, so-called Rob the fool. So a clear example of this would be to refute the full Rob Christian is that if we look at the hadith in Sahih Bukhari, the isnad and the matan is correct, all right. But the thing is, it's authentic that the narrator really said this. The narrator who's narrating the Prophet Muhammad, he really said this. But sometimes the narrator would be in doubt if he heard the Prophet Muhammad say this or that, and he will show the doubt, right? But in reality, who is saying this? Who are these words? Who's the one saying I'm doubting? It's the narrator. Is it really the narrator who said this? Is it connected? Like, is there a chain of narration that is correct that the narrator said this? Yes, it is. An example of this would be in Sahih al-Bukhari. Allah's messenger came to Medina, and the people used to pay in advance the price of fruits to be delivered within 1 or 2 years. 1 or 2 years. Then the sub-narrator is in doubt whether it was 1 to 2 years or 2 to 3 years. As you can see here, the sub-narrator was in doubt whether it was this or that. So what's Rab gonna say right now? What's Rab gonna say about this statement? No way, everything in Sahih Bukhari is Sahih. Okay, but how come he's doubting? How come the narrator is doubting in this hadith? Is his doubt Sahih? Him doubting is Sahih. But like it's narrated through him that it's Sahih that he said this. But him doubting, that's where you have to go and search. Right? That's where you have to go and search. So the Prophet said, whoever pays money in advance for dates to be delivered later should pay it for known specified weight and measure of the dates. As you can see here, all right. قال قدم رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم المدينة والناس يسلفون في الثمر العام والعامين أو قال عامين أو ثلاثة شك إسماعيل is in doubt. The sub-narrator is in doubt whether it's 1 to 2 years or as it says here, or 2 to 3 years. Okay, this is where he doubted. So is Rob Christian gonna say, oh, there's this is not hadith, this is not sahih because the narrator is in doubt? So what did Abu Huraira actually say? Ibn Abbas say, because Ibn Abbas is narrating this hadith. And Ibn Abbas said, Ibn Abbas who said this. So the narrator is Ismail, who is narrating what Ibn Abbas narrated, what Ibn Abbas said. Because Ibn Abbas said Allah's messenger came to Medina, and the people used to pay in advance the price of foods to be delivered within 1 or 2 years. Right? The sub narrator is in doubt whether it was 1 to 2 years or 1 to 3 years, or 2 to 3 years, right? Or 2 to 3 years. Sub narrator is Ismail, who is in doubt. And Ismail was in doubt that Ibn Abbas said, whether Ibn Abbas said 1 to 2 year, or 2 years, or 1 or 2 or 3 or 3 years, right? Or 2 to 3 years. So he's in doubt what Ibn Abbas actually said. So as you can see, this is one example of exposing Rob Christian. Another example is a hadith in Sahih Bukhari. Okay, here you see, all right. Here you see. So he rode his rahila. So first of all, narrated Abu Huraira. Okay, Abu Huraira is saying, so he, which is the rode his rahila, she camel for riding, and dressed for the people, saying, Allah held back the killing from Mecca. Allah held back the killing from Mecca. The sub narrator is in doubt whether the Prophet Muhammad said elephant or killing, as the Arabic words standing for these words have great similarity in shape. So what is it right now? This is in Sahih Bukhari. The sub narrator is in doubt. The sub narrator who is narrating the words of Abu Huraira, which Abu Huraira narrated here, is saying he was in doubt whether Abu Huraira said he was in doubt whether Abu Huraira was saying from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu, was narrating from Prophet. He was in doubt that he heard from Abu Huraira whether Abu Huraira said that the Prophet said elephant or killing. And why this was the case? Why was he in doubt? Because the word elephant, al-qatl, and al-fil have great similarity in shape, but not in dots. So if it's written without dots, you would be confused whether it's al-fil or al-qatl, right? So as you can see here, look here, okay, as you can see here, إن الله فقال إن الله حبس عن مكة القتل أو الفيل شك أبو عبد الله. Abu Abdullah was not certain what he heard from Abu Huraira when Abu Huraira was saying the Prophet said this and that. So he was in doubt whether he heard, Abu Abdullah was in doubt whether, the sub-narrator, he was in doubt whether he heard al-qatl or al-fil. Because if you take the dots off of these two words, you get confused. They'll be similar. Like al-qatl, al-fil. Fa, make it into qaf. Ya, make it into ta. It becomes al-qatl. And the same thing, al-qatl, remove the qaf, put one dot instead of two dots, and put ya instead of ta, right? It becomes al-fil. So the sub-narrator was in doubt in this. So right now, Robbie, tell me, which one is it? Because he was in doubt. Is it now we have to throw the whole thing off because Abu Abdullah, he was in doubt? Like, is the whole hadith right now da'if? Or is it only this part because Abu Abdullah Shak, the sub-narrator, was in doubt, as we said here? Sub-narrator was in doubt. As you can see, sub-narrator is in doubt whether the Prophet said elephant or killing. Which one is it? So this is a clear proof that Rabi is a fool, right? The hadith, the sub-narrator narrating this hadith, it's all connected. It's sahih because the sub-narrator is truly connected to his chain, right? But what he spoke, what he said, he was in doubt whether the Prophet said elephant or killing. He said that I was in doubt, right? I'm in doubt whether he said elephant or killing, right? It's connected as sahih that in chain that he said this. But we're coming to the thing is, did he hear it correctly? Because he was in doubt in this case. Did he hear what the Prophet says correctly? Whether the Prophet said elephant or killing? That's when it comes there. So similarly with Az-Zuhri's narration, the hadith is connected as sahih that Az-Zuhri said these words. He says, as it has reached me, فيما بلغنا, Az-Zuhri said this. This is sahih. فيما بلغنا, that the Prophet tried to jump off the mountain. This, what Az-Zuhri said, is sahih because he said what he said is connected chain. but he didn't mention who he heard it from, because he says فيما بلغنا, as we have heard. He didn't mention the narrators who he heard it from. So this becomes ضعيف. This becomes ضعيف. Why? Because Az-Zuhri added his own words and not the words of Aisha. And he did not say who he heard it from, because if he does not say who he heard it from, we don't know if he heard it from a trustworthy person or not. Right? So that's the case here. Another example would be in Sahih Muslim. And remember, as we're saying right now, Rob even agrees that Bukhari and Muslim, both of them, are the most authentic books in history. And this is true, but he doesn't understand specifically in context what is that meant. So as you can see, this is Sahih Muslim, as you can see here. It says, a person who gives charity and conceals it to such an extent that the right hand does not know what the left has given. The right hand does not know what the left has given. Okay? The right hand does not know what the left has given. But it says in another hadith, okay, which is agreed upon in Sahih Bukhari, okay, and the man who gives charity so secretly that his left hand does not know what his right hand has given. His left hand does not know what his right hand has given. Well, this hadith, we said, Sahih Muslim, okay, it says here, a person who gives charity and conceals it such as to extent that the right hand does not know what the left hand has given. Okay, as it says here, حتى لا تعلم يمينه ما تنفق شماله, right? Until his right hand, until his right hand does not know what his left hand has given. But in the hadith in Sahih Bukhari, it says, okay, as you can see, this is agreed upon in Sahih Bukhari, and a man who gives charity so secretly that his left hand does not know what the right hand has given. This one, the left hand does not know what the right hand has given. This one is the right hand. The right hand does not know what the left has given. So the narrator here, he was confused regarding the hadith, because a person has to give everything with the right hand. But here he says that the left hand is the one that's giving, so that the right hand does not know what the left is giving. The other hadith says that the right hand does not, that the left hand does not know what the right is giving. While this one says that the right hand does not know what the left is giving. So which one is it? Is it the left hand that's giving, or is it the right hand that's giving? Okay, so we can see that this is a clear, not to say a contradiction, but there is a doubt because of the narrator. There is a illah. A wahm. We say it's a wahm. Wahm, it's mean a forgetfulness of the narrator. But what is the correct one? Which one is the correct one? Is it the one that says that the left hand does not know what the right hand is giving? Or is it the other narration that says that the right hand does not know what the left is giving? If we clearly go to Imam Nawawi, Sharh Imam Nawawi, in the book of Imam Nawawi, okay, I will give you the reference right here, okay. As you can see, this is the book of Sharh al-Nawawi, okay, Imam Nawawi, page 100, volume 7, okay, regarding this hadith, okay. And the hadith clearly says, okay, as you can see here, قوله صلى الله عليه وسلم ورجل تصدق بصدقة فأخفاها حتى لا تعلم يمينه ما تنفق شماله. A man who gives charity and he keeps it so secret that his right hand does not know what his left hand gave. هكذا وقع في جميع نسخ مسلم في بلادنا وغيرها. وكذا نقله القاضي. Even the Qadi narrated the same thing, saying with the wording لا تعلم يمينه ما تنفق شماله, that the right hand does not know what the left hand gives in charity. والصحيح, but the correct hadith, the correct one, the correct thing in the hadith, المعروف حتى لا تعلم شماله ما تنفق يمينه, until his left hand does not know what his right hand gives. And this is the same thing, the same riwayah, the same wording in Imam Malik and Bukhari in his Sahih وغيرها من الأئمة من وجوه الكلام. لأن المعروف, because what is known في النفقة in charity فعلها باليمين, that a person must give charity in his right hand, right? Not with the left hand. So the hadith that says until the right hand does not know what the left hand gives is not correct. Because the narrator here, this part only is not correct. Not the whole hadith, this part only is not correct. Why? Because there was a wahm. The Rawi forgot. He was going to say that until the right hand, sorry, he was going to say that until the left hand does not know what the right hand gives, but instead he mixed it around, he switched it, and he says until the right hand does not know what the left hand gives, while in reality charity is given in the right hand. So the correct hadith would be until the left hand does not know what the right hand gives. And Al-Qadi says ويشبه أن يكون الوهم ويشبه, and this is the wahm, this is a forgetfulness, a mixed up, he got mixed up. فيهما من الناقلين عن مسلم لا من مسلم بدليل إدخاله بعد الحديث. And he says that this is a wahm, this is a forgetfulness from the one who's narrating this hadith in Sahih Muslim and not Sahih Muslim himself. Okay, so it's clearly, you can clearly expose Rob for his ignorance. What's Rob gonna say right now? Oh, but the other hadith is a Muslim, it has to be Sahih as well. Of course it's Sahih, but this part right here, there's the narrator, he was forgetful. He mixed up the two things, so he got it correct in the hukum itself. Because you don't give charity in the left hand, you give charity in the right hand. So that means until the left hand does not know what the right hand has given, and not the other way around, until the right hand knows what the left hand has given. This is wrong. It's rather, the correct one is until the left hand does not know what the right hand has given.
تعرفون ايش معنى انقلبه؟ يعني بدل. في حديث جدا مشهور مقلوب، وفي البخاري ومسلم محفوظ، وجاءت رواية مقلوبة في السبعة الذين ظلهم الله في ظله يوم لا ظل إلا ظله. المحفوظ، الحديث المحفوظ: ورجل تصدق بصدقة فأخفاها حتى لا تعلم شماله ما تنفق يمينه. جاءت رواية مقلوبة، ايش قال فيها الراوي؟ قال: ورجل تصدق بصدقة فأخفاها حتى لا تعلم يمينه ما تنفق شماله. هذا ايش اسم الحديث؟ مقلوب. الصحيح الثابت ما هو المحفوظ؟ حتى لا تعلم شماله ما تنفق يمينه. الراوي قال حتى لا تعلم يمينه ما تنفق شماله. هذا اسمه قلب. فقال لعله ايش؟ انقلب على الراوي. وهذا كثير، حتى الناس في كلامهم احيانا الواحد ايش؟ يقلب الكلام، يعني يبدل كلمة بالعكس يقولها.
Let me explain how this ignoramus, this miskin, just deceived his gullible Muslim audience. Notice Ramzi's whole argument here is the phrase "we have heard," which is supposedly a quotation by Az-Zuhri. According to Ramzi, Az-Zuhri did not give a source for his information. But is this true, or simply another modern-day lie to cover up the embarrassing story about the mentally ill, suicidal, false prophet of Islam? I mean, how can you trust a mentally ill, suicidal person, right? Or let alone accept him to be a true prophet of God? Notice, it's very important to understand that the Ramzi and his Dawah girlfriends cannot reject this authentic hadith because it's still a Bukhari hadith. All scholars in Sunni Islam agree there are no weak hadith in Bukhari. This is a fact in Sunni Islam. So if the report of Az-Zuhri was weak, then Bukhari himself would have not included it in his Sahih collection, but would have thrown it out completely. Now let me refute Ramzi's desperate attempt here. This guy is nothing but a parrot who parrots what he has heard from other da'is like his bigger sister Farida.
Sahih Bukhari. However, it's reported by Zuhri, and Zuhri doesn't mention his source. These are referred to as balaghat al-Zuhri. Zuhri says, balagana, we were told, by whom we don't know. And so basically this is rejected by scholars of hadith as well.
Ramzi and his sister Farida claim that as Zuhri said, we heard it, but it's not mawsul or connected chain of narration between him and Aisha in this case. But is this true? Let me refute that lie specifically for this hadith. If we go to Tarikh al-Tabari, volume 2, page 298, we see the same story about the suicidal Prophet Muhammad who wants to jump from the high mountains. But here we see that it doesn't say that Az-Zuhri said we have heard. It actually says from Az-Zuhri, from Urwa, from Aisha. Pay attention, we have Urwa and Aisha in the chain of narration as well, which makes it a connected chain. So it does not say that Az-Zuhri said Sami'na or we have heard. So this is actually a fully connected chain of narration. Scholars said in Islam when they were asked, are there weak narrations in Sahih Bukhari?
هل في الصحيحين أحاديث غير صحيحة؟ نرجو إفادتنا بذلك أثابكم الله.
ليس في الصحيحين أحاديث صحيحة غير صحيحة، بل كل ما فيهما صحيح، وقد تلقاهما الأمة بالقبول وبينوا أن ما فيهما صحيح مسلم مقبول، وقد يسمى بعضه حسنا، لكن في الجملة صحيح. حديث الصحيحين مقبولة وصحيحة ومتلقاة بالقبول عند أهل العلم.
في الصحيحين أحاديث غير صحيحة، نرجو إفادتنا بذلك أثابكم الله.
ليس في الصحيحين أحاديث صحيحة غير صحيحة، بل كل ما فيهما صحيح، وقد تلقاهما الأمة بالقبول وبينوا أن ما فيهما صحيح مسلم مقبول، وقد يسمى بعضه حسنا، لكن في الجملة صحيح. حديث الصحيحين مقبولة وصحيحة ومتلقاة بالقبول عند أهل العلم. وهناك حديث واحد توقف بعض أهل العلم في قبوله في صحيح مسلم، وقع فيه وهم، وهو حديث أبي هريرة أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال إن الله خلق التربة يوم السبت وعدد مخلوقات إلى أن قال وخلق آدم يوم الجمعة وجعل الخلق في 7 أيام. قال البخاري وجماعة إنه وهم، وإنه من كلام كعب الأحبار، وهم فيه بعض الرواة فرفعه إلى أبي هريرة إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم، وإنما هو وهم، وهذا هو الصواب. قول البخاري في هذه الرواية هو الصواب إنه وهم. هذا الحديث في مسلم وهم من جهة الرفع. نعم.
سائل يقول:
لأن الله أخبر سبحانه أنه خلق السماوات والأرض وما بينهما في 6 أيام. هذا المتن الذي رواه من رواه عن أبي هريرة وهم.